episode 3 of BioTech Talk, your one stop shop for all the tidbits from the biomedical and life sciences industry. And today I have a very good friend. We've been friends for over 3 years now. And he's come all the way from Greece just to record this, haven't you? Okay, welcome, Mr. Alexander Benjamin. He's the marketing director at Slee. Are you excited to be here?
Of course, I'm excited. Thank you for having me. And it's very interesting to talk about what we do in the end of the day, right?
Yeah, of course. It's going to be a great show. We always have very interesting conversations. Some a little PG-13, but but mostly the science of it is really interesting to talk with Alex, because Alex is also I also consider Alex as my counterpart because he is the marketing director at Slee, which is one of our exclusive partners and one of our OG partners. And he also doesn't come from exact science background, but he got into this field for over 5 years, 6 years now. This is the 6th year, right?
Right. And, with us marketing people, the only option that we have is to learn new things always.
Yeah.
Because if you want to do marketing about something, then you really need to have deep knowledge about
knowledge
it.
of the product. Yeah, absolutely. So that's why every conversation for us is very relatable, and it's interesting what we have learned new in this field as well. So Alex, for the audience knowledge and for your knowledge, this show BioTech Talk, the process is that you have 10 minutes and 10 minutes to address a topic, and today's topic is from slides to AI, the diagnosing of tomorrow.
Excellent.
You ready?
Of course. Let's go.
Okay. So when I said slides, let's start with the first thing. So I think we are going to look at where the slides relate most, which is histopathology. Let's get into an understanding of what is histopathology.
Sure. So being a Greek, I can actually analyze the word better for you.
Of course.
Because histopathology as a term has a Greek root. So histos, like histo in Greek means tissue. Pathos means suffering.
Okay.
And the suffix of logia talks about the science of something.
Okay.
So basically, histopathology is a science that analyzes tissue and structural differences that we can detect in order to understand or to diagnose diseases.
Okay.
So the tissue for us is really a book that we can read to understand what really happens in the body.
See, this is what I like, and I love how the analogy he uses. Who would think to connect tissue to a book? Please tell me. Okay, so then if this is the process, then what do you think has been the evolution of it over the years? I'm sure it's been there for so many years.
Exactly.
Yeah, like many years, even before the actual scientific industry was established. So what do you think has evolved over the years for this?
That's true. Histopathology is really old. We can go back in time when most of the process was going on manually. Tissue processing by hand, staining by hand, and especially since late 90s, we see more automation with automatic stainers, automatic tissue processor. But also, we see some more advanced techniques, like, for example, advanced staining, including the process of immunohistochemistry, where there's a detection of certain proteins, and we can understand better some diseases. And also with molecular pathology, with FISH and PCR, where we can also detect certain biomarkers and then also make more accurate diagnosis, especially for some difficult cases.
So now that you've spoken about how it has evolved and, it has become sort of automated and everything, do you think this helps the accuracy of diagnosis by the pathologist? And do you think there are much more challenges present in this?
Well, actually, really, of course, helps the accuracy of the diagnosis, but also many other steps have to be taken to ensure that we have safe results. First of all, quality control of the whole process.
Okay.
And let's face it, as a manufacturer of devices, I would say that trustworthy devices really affect the safety of the process, first of all.
Okay.
So to ensure that in the end of the day, you are still going to have your samples. And then, of course, that the quality control will ensure that in the end of the process, you get the correct results. And this is why also traceability is really important anymore.
Yeah, so that is where I think the biosample storage systems that we previously discussed that in the previous episode for maintaining sample integrity and the traceability is so important in your field especially.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Together with labeling and then also appropriate software, all together can ensure that. Also, in order to be more accurate, they also consult, in many cases, more pathologists. So maybe the results or the diagnosis of one pathologist is compared to another. And also, of course, even more comparison with historical data.
Okay.
And with talking about historical data, something that really helps and is going to improve it is actually digital pathology that is coming up, and it's something really big on our field anymore.
Okay, so like everything, I think the transition is happening towards digital. And do you think there is an involvement of AI as well in this?
Sure. I mean, digital pathology and automation is definitely the future in our field. And of course, AI is going to play a major role. So, first of all, digital pathology helps to preserve the results and helps to, of course, keep good storage and easy to recall if we want to check any data in the future or if we want to compare, to do comparisons. And also, in combination with AI, is going to give better results or better diagnosis. Of course, at least at the moment, is just as an additional help to the pathologist, but who knows, maybe in the future it plays even more drastic role in the diagnosis
Diagnostic
of
capabilities.
diseases. Yes.
Okay. That's interesting. So I think that pretty much covers my last question as well, which was the future of histopathology or pathology in this thing. So you're saying it moves more towards
Automation
automation.
and of course digital pathology and AI. And AI has many more applications. For example, it can also help to streamline the process itself.
Okay.
So to prioritize more important cases, to even decide which case should be treated first, how to prioritize the patient sequence, and so
And
on.
like the speed at which something should be delivered
Definitely.
to them. Yeah.
And also with digital pathology, we can have more remote diagnosis because one of the challenges that the labs or the pathology community faces is that in some countries or in some places, there are not enough pathologists. So with digital pathology, we can have remote diagnosis and cooperation of pathologists from another place in the same country or even from another corner of the world.
So it's more like a workflow sort of thing, right? Like you begin with the conventional part and then it moves into the digital part of it.
Exactly. The digitalization of the process actually relieves the biggest challenges, which is, not to make mistakes. That is that software helps a lot to that, and also to help with the shortage of pathologists in some areas of the world, and also to be able to control and compare data.
That's good. So we do really see AI is the future everywhere for everything. So
at some point I can see too. I mean, I wouldn't say the future of everything, but at least I could safely say that it can play a major role.
Major role in at least streamlining and creating accurate
Exactly.
estimates. And I think that's a good place to stop. Thank you so much, Alex, for coming all the way here to
I'm always
the
happy.
show.
You know that.
He's actually a traveler. It's very hard to get hold of him. He's in different time zones any minute that I call him. Every time I call him, I'm like, okay, which time zone are you in? So
Well, if we want to know more and to experience more, then we have to travel
yes.
and open up our horizons.
That's true. That's true. Thank you so much. This is Malavika Kanara signing off. Biotech Talk powered by Leader Life Sciences.